Davido's father was not even there. So is Chioma really Davido's wife?
Nationalism, Yoruba nationalism, Igbo nationalism, the quest for Dudua, the quest for Biafra, the quest for Nigerian Republic, and these are very, very strong right now. The overwhelming majority of the young people believe in these points.
Now the truth is that when you're talking about elders in the land, I think you have to dress to the occasion. In case you're meeting me for the first time, this is Beingrealgeorge right here with you. We keep it real and nothing is scripted. So today's video, as you can see playing already, we are talking about a whole lot of significant people in Nigeria, and I'll be taking you guys down memory lane because there's some history you guys don't know about that might be repeating itself in Nigeria and would I say across Africa. So if you are in for this, I think you might want to stick around to the end of the video. Like you know already, the Beingreal family, we always know what's up. See you as the video continues.
That's Nigeria, man. That's Nigeria.
Today, all of a sudden at work, I decided to read a little bit about the Biafran War and things that transpired before or during that time. And I came across an article that I want to show to you as you can look at your screen right now. And it reads: Kevin Charles wrote about the genocide and inhuman tactics that characterized the Biafran War. He said, Nigerian civil war, which ended 50 years ago today, came to define post-colonial Africa. But it was the images of Biafra starving people that came to symbolize the horror of modern warfare. I had to look at the phrase the horror of modern warfare critically because you guys know the way I do my things. I try to make sense of everything because I bring pieces of things like this together on the internet so you get to understand where we are getting it all wrong. The horror of modern warfare. And it's not just my voice you'll be listening to. People that are really, really significant or already in Nigeria would also be speaking with regards to the things I am talking about. So let's get straight to it as we go on.
Had it not been for this intervention, things would have got much worse. Already things were getting bad.
The clip you just saw is Governor Yaya Bello and Femi Kuti acting as intermediaries towards the strike that was embarked upon by the Amalgamated Foodstuff and Cattle Breeders Association.
Can you do rubbish there?
What is it?
You're asking what is it?
I don't know if this is making sense to you.
The association demanded that there are his members that were killed. They are requiring that compensation be paid.
Now, while I would congratulate Governor Yaya Bello for that respectful and humble act of service to the public, don't forget that this same man was the person that said this about NSAS.
What is happening today, so-called NSAS, is politically motivated. And quote me anywhere, any day.
Anyway, actually, sir, I quoted you before your people come for small me. But the fact still remains that if I can look at the things happening in Nigeria in the lens of being, like I always say on my videos, that the problem we really have in the country is because of politicians and pastors. Some people will say, oh, okay, politicians. Some people will say, oh, no, my pastor is not even human. I still can't forget that comment I saw on one of my videos. But let's not talk about that now, but let's face the fact.
No, the government can't be like that. I don't believe it.
Will you tell government
what are you arguing? Are you not in this country? I am, but I know they're what do you think the amnesty program really is about?
I think the players we have in the system, which I believe in the whole idea of revolution, having a great turnaround in the country, like a reverse of things. Because come on, the same Femi Kuti who is someone very vocal about things that happen in Nigeria and all. Come on, he was even the one tweeting about Donald Trump winning the election and the whole Christian shenanigan stuff. But he is the same person that was rumored to be planning to join the APC from the PDP, kind of like playing two parts or something. Listen to him.
I never said that I was in the APC. What I said was that we were having discussions with very senior people within the APC who happen to be friends of mine, and we're working closely together to bring this country together and to build bridges and to ensure we have unity and progress.
So I'm not surprised that he worked hand in hand with Yaya Bello on this particular course. Now, would I say that he really has plans to move into the APC, even though I know that he might be eyeing the presidency or something? Come on, just I think that on social media, so no one should come for me. I just analyze things as they come to me.
The leadership of the Amalgamated Union of Foodstuff and Cattle Dealers in Nigeria, who suspended supply of foodstuff and cattle to the south a week ago.
Now, do you now see why since 2007, history as a course or as a subject had been wiped away from the teaching curriculum in Nigeria? Now, I heard back in 2019 that there were plans to bring it back on. But we are going to be talking about that deeply because Wole Soyinka will be helping me with that. When it comes to things like this, for those of us that are educated, I'm not trying to say that I'm more educated than you are. If you're writing research or if you're writing thesis or something, you build up on the already existing knowledge, not as if you know everything. So if you look at the way I create content around things, when I bring bits and pieces of clips here and there, it's just for you to get a build up of whatever is leading to my conclusion. So I guess you might really be patient to get a full picture of what leads to my conclusion with this content, because I think I have a voice too and I can still speak, but I can't just speak or like someone that just rants about anything. But I listen to our fathers and those who are in the system that understand and know better about what is going on.
Watching a video of Onyeka Onwenu recently as she spoke about her personal experience during and just after the Biafran War, and it was apparent that the lessons of that era were etched in her mind and soul, such that she was able to speak with intent at the Never Again conference.
So we must all be very honest with ourselves and know that the importance of history is not just as an academic exercise, it's a development exercise.
Personally, I believe that history is the foundation to understanding life in order to move forward, because it precedes development and self-understanding. It is through history that you get to understand where you come from as a person and why you behave in the way you do, even though some things might be subconscious.
And I discovered purely by accident that history had been taken out of the curriculum of our schools. I couldn't believe it. I was in Lagos at the time. I remember asking Governor Fashola, I said, is it true in your schools, your governor, is it true that you don't teach history here? And he said, no, what happened was that at the central level, at the federal level, some minister decided at one stage or the other that this nation did not need history, or that it was impossible to teach history, or that it was difficult, or that books were not available, or teachers were not available. Some garbage like that. And this fellow was a minister.
So I have no idea why anyone would want to commit such a crime to an upcoming generation. Just imagine me now that really have to dig deep into the internet to really know what really happened and all that. I won't say for real that I actually learned these things from school, but I know that some of these things were chipped into social studies when I was growing up. Come on, I'm 27, so you can guess when I was born and how all of this is really making sense to me now. Anyway, no wonder Wole Soyinka had this to say about the situation. Listen to Wole Soyinka.
So a lot of crime is committed against our upbringing, our advance. A lot of crime is done to our children, and it's unconscionable that these things happen and we allow them to go on for so long. And so our children grow up truncated, completely, intellectually truncated. A huge part of their brain is unused. An analytical part is unused because certain facts are not available to them.
Now, it might interest you to know that this is not just a Nigerian problem. I think it's a continental problem in Africa. Come on, sitting by him there is Kwame Nkrumah's daughter, in case you don't know. That is Kwame Nkrumah's daughter. And those you see seated on that panel there are really, really important people or figures we know when it comes to the history or custodians of African history, or would I say Nigerian history. But we'll get more into that as we go on. So when I watch all of the clips, I like this statement that Tony Elumelu of the UBA Bank really said. So listen to him, I would say.
So I think whilst it is good to remember our history should help prepare us for a future, help create a sense of dissatisfaction with our history, and help prepare us for a life that is better.
Indeed, the dissatisfaction with history becomes the drive for a better tomorrow. So when I see the likes of Nnamdi Kanu and every other person that is fighting towards a particular cause, it is because of the history that we have been through, which they know and have experienced, that actually drives and sparks that fire for a change or for something. So I may not really understand the whole NSAS protest because maybe I haven't had an experience with the SAS people or something. But for those who would, vigorously go out there and protest and all of that, there is something that actually guides their perception. So for someone to come out and say that the whole NSAS movement was politically motivated, Governor Yaya Bello, I don't understand why he made that statement. But maybe like a politician, you think like a politician. If you're not for me, you are against me, which I think I would understand you from that point. But I wouldn't say, would I say the youths that came out, the DJ Switch and the rest of them that came out voluntarily on their own were paid by politicians to do so? I beg to differ, Governor Yaya Bello. But anyway, it is your perception and everyone is entitled to their perception no matter what. Anyway, we move. Now, lest I forget, Femi Kuti himself, the son of the legend Fela Kuti. Come on, I remember the days where Fela was a trend. I mean, Fela as trouser. Guy, this of trouser, they did like Fela, so I remember those days. But this is what he had to say about this whole situation. Please, Femi.
Our youth today are forced to look up to Europe and America. We all go to school and admire these nations. 5 100 years of slavery. We don't appreciate the Trans-Sahara slave trade, the Atlantic slave trade. And because there is no footage of this history, even when we read it, it's not like a Jew story. There's footage of that war. Immediately, automatically, you have to sympathize with the Jews. You cannot even crack a Jewish joke about the Holocaust. The whole nation will descend on you. Africa, we make fun of ourselves. We say we sold ourselves. We don't have history. This is the history we are taught in school. Our problem is colonization. Yes, we all are speaking in English, Portuguese, French. If I say this is white, somebody will find a reason why to say, no, it's not white, it's blah, 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 blah. These languages make us fight. Colonization makes us fight amongst each other.
Now, I don't know whether you see any truth in the things that Femi Kuti have said. Sheun is also there who really talks about all of these things, but they still follow. One thing I like about the family is that they still follow the path of which their father laid and all of that. So a lot of African history has been thwarted due to certain misguided principles and due to colonialism, as you can hear him say, which is mainly, I think, what we are still living in right now at the moment. Come on, look at what is happening with Prince Harry. Oh, okay, so because he stayed glued to his wife and abandoned his family, not like he abandoned his family, but you know, for the love he has for his wife, could give up his quote-unquote royalty. And maybe now people are saying, oh, maybe the whole issue with him before wasn't really about his cohabitation or whatever he had with his wife, but because maybe the wife is not really white and there's an issue with the child now not really being fully white. And these were the same people that colonized we are, the same people that brought us the Bible, which we believe in Jesus. And yet still you have a problem with an innocent child that is born into this world, and now it's like he can't get what he really deserves at his title, being the son of the royal family. Does it really make sense? So if you are still living in that colonial mindset, I think aside the whole colonialism issue thing, we are still going. Come on, I watched the videos. I don't know if you've watched these videos, but I will get to react to them as time goes on, of this whole college students having their prejudice with African countries. If you watched what the boy from northern Nigeria said about Africa supposing or having to have been meant to be for Islam, or I really didn't want to read meanings into it, but if I really have to talk about it, obviously I'm going to present facts to you. But when I got to see those things and hear them speak, oh come on, the other person from Nigeria spoke really eloquently well, the Igbo man. But when I heard this northern boy speak, you can imagine how deep this whole mentality of Nigeria, the leadership of Nigeria itself, how deep this whole Boko Haram thing and how deep this whole Islamization thing is. Imagine someone like that at such a tender age speaking that way. It is very disheartening, I would say, of what level of indoctrination these people have had from their childhood or something. I don't know if you understand the things I'm saying, but I hope it makes sense to you, as maybe I get to post that video sometime to come. But let's talk about the main subject we have right now. Now, some time ago when Donald Trump was in power, Buhari, my dear, wonderful, most respected President Muhammadu Buhari, went to visit Donald Trump in need for arms to fight Boko Haram, and he made some statements about the herdsmen, which I think might interest you to listen to. Listen to what our president had to say.
He knew that the Nigerian herders never carried anything more than a stick and occasionally a machete to cut down foliage and give it to their animals. These ones are carrying AK-47. So I don't think people should underrate what happened in Libya. 43 years of Gaddafi, people were recruited from the Sahel. They were taught nothing other than to shoot and kill. With the demise of Gaddafi, they moved to their countries and to their regions, and they carried away with them the only experience they have in training, using weapons. And that's what is aggravating the situation.
Now, did you imply, or did he imply, that the herdsmen that are in Nigeria with AK-47s are from Libya? Is that what it means, or maybe I didn't hear it correctly? You can tell me what you think in the comment section.
See, we're not safe. If I were to reincarnate and come back to this country, I'd rather come as a cow.
The rest of them? I don't know nothing. I'm just presenting to you facts. and hoping we could think together of how history is repeating itself. So our situation in Nigeria can only be really understood and fully expatiated if we go back to history. If the Northerners can decide that they are going to go on a food strike, and dialogue is seen as the best way to resolve situations, whereby if it is in the Niger Delta that they say, okay, you know what, all of the oil that come or that we use in Nigeria, which is more of like one of our main income as a country, comes from our territory. So you know what, since you guys are saying that you aren't selling food to us, you know what, then the oil we have should be for the territory and not be used by Nigeria. Come on, you know what would happen? It's not about a matter of dialogue. The military, battalions of military will be sent to the Niger Delta to keep peace or keep things calm. But in this case, we are talking about, come on, if you don't have food, will you go to fight? If you don't have food, will you go to war? But yes, still, these cows will come into the south, coming into the southwest and destroy the farms that we have, the farms that we are cultivating ourselves, killing our farmers. And yet still no one is talking about it, no one is doing nothing about it. And when the Eastern Security Network, the ESN, rises up to protect themselves and protect their own people, someone would come and say, oh, come on, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. Something should make logical sense. Am I instigating or saying that we should instigate a war? No, I'm just thinking logically about the situation. The difference between you and I is that I'm a content creator. I put a camera before my face and talk. But you all know what is happening, or we have people we call the keyboard warriors. But the thing is that when I speak about things like this, which are really dear to my heart, because the thing is, come on, I guess I'm outside Nigeria at the moment. One day I'm gonna come back. Nigeria will always be my home. You understand? I'm a titled man. So because of the things I'm talking about today, I'm not like ha like I usually be. But come on, you see more forward and activeness in the next video. But I just have to, talk like the matured man I have.